All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect wishing this word in truth and in sincerity, with the hope of receiving mercy for Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father. Yahweh Shai is the name of His only begotten Son. You so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the Israelites according to the prophecies that are written in the Scriptures. I want to make it known that the RFID microchip is the MOTB. The serpent juice is the precursor to the MOTB. Yahweh Shai, indwelling in the called Jesus, is about to make His return upon the earth to deliver His elect and to pour out judgment as it is written. So I want to go straight into this lesson concerning the times of Jacob's trouble. Right now we are in the beginning of sorrows, and things are going to start escalate rapidly. This is Daniel 12 verse 1, and it says, "And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book." So let's give you a sneak peek at what's going on over there in Mystery Babylon the Great, because right now the Lamb, the scripture in Revelation mention of the two horns like a lamb and speak as a dragon. This is what America is doing right now. They're speaking like a dragon, and people are going to start seeing the effects of it sooner than later with these deployments of these national guards and the police coming under the federal government. Let's see how the ball game changed totally. So let's see what's going on in DC. Why Trump say I'm going to get back DC under control.
Things are now so bad in DC, the mayor has left while Trump takes over. Look at these people. Look at them go. This is crazy. This whole place has been falling apart.
So let's read the heading. It says, "Looters wipe out 37 DC stores. Mayor flees as Trump seizes Capitol."
For months.
This video posted to the popular social media account Washingtonian Problems is going viral.
Look at
Several
this.
suspects
I see what niggas are running up and down with clothes. Fucking clothes. You know what I'm gonna need in times to come? Food. Fucking food.
sprinting down the street, arms full with thousands of dollars in stolen stuff. Now DC police are asking for help tracking down these
Look
6
at all these
suspects
people.
who they say got away with $20,000 worth of merch from this
They're all
alley in
masked
Georgetown.
up.
That's more than my car. It's a lot, yeah. That's
DC cops say the suspects came into the Aloe around 7:30, grabbed what they could from the display racks, and ran off, hopping into a silver or gray Ford Edge with covered tags.
At least they buy American.
crazy. That's a lot. That's a lot of stuff.
This Aloe just the latest high-end athleisure store in Georgetown to be targeted. March 24th, cameras rolling inside the Lululemon just up the street.
Lululemon.
Several suspects in hoodies and face
Yeah, of
masks
course.
walk into the store just before noon and take off with what they can carry.
More popular brands, as it gets up in popularity, it makes sense that these things would happen.
Tuesday, 2 security
No, it
guards
doesn't
spotted
make
at the
sense that
Aloe
these things would
entrance.
happen.
Rep for
It's
MPD.
not the brand's fault the store got looted. No, it's the fault of people who won't lock up these criminals, which is why the mayor is gone. She's left, escaped. But look what happened just 5 days ago.
This video shows around 20 to 30 young people
30
swarming
people.
the 24/7 Best Tobacco and Wireless on the 1500 block of Benning Road. DC police say they arrived around 11:40
Look at
Friday
this
night,
place.
throwing items in and outside
Done.
of the store. Video from an employee shows the aftermath.
This is terrible.
Items scattered everywhere. Police say multiple items were stolen and an employee suffered a
This
minor
place is
injury.
going to shut down.
On Saturday, loyal customers stopped by to check in on the business that's only been open for around 2 months.
Yes. came over here to see how they doing because it's a nice
It's a brand new store.
The guys are nice here. It's no problem. So
this is why you can't have nice things in places that are just plagued with crime. A new business, they see an empty storefront, they say, hey, it's a great opportunity. The rent's really low. And then they move in and find out why.
People just need to control the kids more. I'm sorry.
This is our community. This is our community that we're trashing. It's funky. It stinks.
It does.
The stores are dirty. And,
but that's why Trump is there now with the cops.
This is the sign the business has posted out front talking about looting, saying they plan to take action soon.
Good luck with that.
Speaking with people in the neighborhood, they tell me they're frustrated. They say it's incidents like this that prevent the area from keeping business.
But I thought crime was
CVS
down.
Closed. I know it's the Dollar Tree haven't been open in some time. I don't even know they might open by now.
Dollar Tree's
closed. They say they hope Friday night's actions don't cause this convenience store to close as well. As far as a solution,
I feel like it should start at home.
Yep.
Children need to be watched more.
That's right.
More police presence, not just the vehicles.
But I thought crime was down. Everybody's saying that Trump's doing the wrong thing by policing the nation's capital. They tell us it's the safest it's ever been. But as you're about to see, some of the neighborhoods here, they're overrun with lawlessness as well. Look at this.
Runner.
A runner.
Who got the fuck? Who just got the fuck? I don't even know.
They're chasing someone.
Who just ran, y'all? Who just ran?
Yeah, everyone ran. Everyone that was committing crime. Look at this, a massive operation in this area. And don't tell me for a second that everyone who lives here is outraged by this, because that would mean that everyone here is a criminal, which is not true. You got a lot of good, law-abiding people living in these neighborhoods that are sick of this nonsense. Except for this guy littering, maybe.
I'm just saying. Back up.
Something's happening.
Back up.
They're going to take someone down.
He put this man in handcuffs with no reason. Hey, don't push him, y'all. Don't push them. He had no reason to put this man in handcuffs.
This is so dangerous for these cops. They're just trying to calm everybody down.
Calm down. He's going to take your jail.
Yeah, that's right. You don't want to go to jail.
No, what the?
Finally, we got some people here with brains that don't want to see that.
Make sure they don't arm break down.
They're going into this apartment building now. I wonder who's coming out of here. Oh, that guy's got a riot shield. That officer's got a riot shield.
Man, we live here.
Another cop with a riot shield going in. Oh, they got this guy.
I won't tell you again. Back up. The wagon isn't round.
The wagon. That's how many people they
I'm
got.
Lieutenant Walsh. Move back.
Wow. This is insane.
Yo, back up. If they go back up, they go to jail. That's it.
Yup.
If they go back up,
Don't
they go to
interfere.
jail. That's real bad.
You know, I hate to say this, but what we're watching right here might be the first time some of these individuals that are out there ruining DC have encountered an actual unyielding authority presence, which has never existed here in a long time, and is the entire reason we've got mobs of lawless people just running through the streets, raiding stores, shutting down Dollar Tree.
Hear from city leaders and others that crime is actually down. Are you seeing that?
No, I'm not seeing it. We're seeing carjackings, the violence in communities. So we were advocating then for the National Guard to come out.
They've wanted troops for years.
But think about how many lives could have been saved just having them on the scene.
And Asia says still to this day, she's not heard from one detective about those crimes committed against her family. Now for Tempe Satcher, another...
All right, so let's look at another clip. So this one, homeless jogged out.
Police are sweeping through DC, and some of these neighborhoods were not ready.
I don't listen. Why? My car's on though. Hold on.
He says his car's running.
None of that. My car's on. I was about to leave. He said I could leave. All that. Listen, all that security. Go ahead, bro. Y'all niggas think y'all can do whatever y'all want. I don't give a about that badge. I'm a personal trainer.
These criminals are out of control.
What they took. Instead, they just trashed the place, as this video obtained by our news partner WTOP shows. We asked the couple what they think of President Trump's plan to federalize city police and deploy more officers and the National Guard.
I'm telling Trump, just send the boys to been around because this is crazy. And then you see Dollar Tree closing, the CVS closed down, 7-Eleven closed down. We trying to put a store in your community, then you do this.
This is the CVS she mentioned that closed. At the next closest one on H Street, you can't even so much as buy a $2 bottle of soda
the products are in jail.
Employee to unlock the display case. The city keeps saying crime is down, but do you feel safe?
No, I don't think so. Crime is down. Crime is off.
Where? In D.C.? Who told that lie?
These neighbors aren't stupid. They know what's going on here. But take a look at how one activist assaulted officers the other day.
Accused of attacking a federal officer with a foot-long Subway sandwich, similar to this one right here at 14th and U this past weekend.
Oh, that was floppy. It looks like a meatball
sub. And it's all caught on camera.
You see these fascists right here?
Fascists?
You!
Take a look at this cell phone video from late Sunday night. 37-year-old Sean Dunn, shown in the pink shirt and shorts, allegedly yelling at federal officers on 14th Street in D.C.
Y'all laughing, but that's the truth.
Moments later, video appearing to show him crossing the street, screaming just inches from a U.S. Customs and Border Protection officer's face.
Let's go get him,
and then appearing to hit the officer in the chest with a foot.
The thing I want to take from this whole altercation, if that was a ninja right there, you know, would you believe that the police then would have take him coming up in their face and acting like that, waiting for him to even let them with a foot long? No. From Jake started rah, the police them feel threatened. And I'm going to put him in a cuff, yo.
Long Subway sandwich. Officers immediately chasing Dunn in the street and eventually catch and arrest him. These federal officers are assisting D.C. police after President Trump placed MPD under federal control.
This is
ridiculous. D.C. U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro announcing the arrest.
And then he took a Subway sandwich about this big and took it and threw it at the officer. He thought it was funny.
The poor sandwich.
He doesn't think it's funny today because we charged him with a felony. Assault on a police officer.
With a sandwich.
And we're going to back the police to the hilt.
According to the criminal complaint, Dunn allegedly told police, "I did it. I threw a sandwich."
And he admitted it.
Reacting to the arrest.
It's disrespectful for the police officers.
Yes, it is.
You
Thank
don't
you.
like that?
No, I don't like that.
Nobody likes that.
I'm disgusted.
That's right.
With the situation. Because he's an officer.
That's
he
right.
didn't get hurt. There's no reason to get a felony because someone is wearing a uniform.
I mean, it's pretty obvious that people with real world experience are the ones in favor of this crime crackdown.
More breaking news back in the district. New video into the Fox 5 newsroom tonight showing increasing tensions between D.C. residents and federal officers now patrolling the streets in Trump's D.C. takeover.
Why are these people mad? Look at their city.
There's a group of about 5 tents on one side and 5 on the other. And people camped here around Washington Circle tell me they got notices to vacate on the 29th. Now, take a look at some of these other encampments that we've talked about, especially near the I-66 ramp in Foggy Bottom and Rock Creek Parkway.
They're getting evicted.
On the way to the Kennedy Center. Now, these have been cleared in the past, but people tend to always kind of come back. The White House says people living in the camps will face fines or jail time if they don't move or enter treatment.
Yeah.
The city has been engaged with unhoused residents prior to camp clearing.
Jail.
We spoke to some living here and those who know them.
If you're not helping, then don't hurt.
Yeah, that never works.
If you're not trying to give people apartments or help their situation out even better, but sending them to a shelter and throwing all their stuff away or giving an option of going to jail, I just think it's evil.
You know what's really evil? Letting somebody live in a park, exposed to the elements, thinking that's their best option in life.
This is shaping up to be a pretty difficult week for people who are struggling with housing in our nation's capital. What you're seeing right behind me is a
Look at this, they leveled it.
Pulling away personal belongings of this encampment. There are tables in there. There are appliances in there.
Appliances?
There's a bed. There looks
That's
like
a fire hazard.
A gas-powered heater in there. We are
Gas
steps
heater
away from
in the
Kennedy
forest.
Center.
A gas heater.
And, you know, while it isn't out of the ordinary for local D.C. government officials to clean up certain encampment areas, you know, I think it goes without saying that President Trump has made it clear with his rhetoric lately.
Yeah. Look, that's an e-bike right there. You know how many fire hazards are out there in this park? If they don't get rid of this place, the whole Capitol could burn to the ground.
Homelessness across D.C. on federal land or on city land taken care of. Going so far to say
everyone should want that.
People who are homeless should be sent far away from the Capitol. Let me show you guys where we are right now. This is
going to take our capital back. We're taking it back.
And I think more people understand this is just not about the capital, yo. This is happening in various communities around America, yo. In stages. And mainly the areas where you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans are. And that are some of the things that are cause a mass rebellion, or say sedition, amongst the people. That's how when you're reading on 2 Ezra 15, verse 40 once more. I've been bringing out this for a couple of days now, yo, because these are the times that we're in. 2 Ezra 15 verse 14, it's a woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draw nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands, talking about civil unrest, civil disorder. For there shall be sedition amongst men, that mean uprising against the authorities, your government, your officials, and invaded one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and that is talking about any elected officials, where they want to be in the presidents, and the governors, and the mayors. It's in all elected officials. They shall not regard the laws that are being implemented, yo. They're going to rebel against them. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their power. And what you see just taking place is just a small inkling of what's to come, yo. The looting on us, you know, when people start really panic, when they start to jerk or rob food, yo. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, because martial law will get declared. State of emergency is going to be declared, you know. Or Rex 84, you know, I've been going into that in a while. For because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Hey man, it wasn't houses, it was tents, but it was those people houses. As I said, this is just a small tip of the iceberg of what's to come. For because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. These are the times that we are in, yo. Verse 19 says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. This is what we're witnessing now, and it's going to get worse, yo. So let's continue watching this clip.
Deploying the National Guard in Washington, D.C., and they're going to be allowed to do their job properly.
Every president promises to keep America safe, but Donald Trump is taking it one step further.
He's taking over Washington, D.C., the capital of the United States. Why? To make it safe again. Trump is taking temporary federal control of D.C.'s police department. He's sending in National Guard troops.
I'm announcing a historic action to rescue our nation's capital from crime, bloodshed, bedlam, and squalor, and worse. This is Liberation Day in D.C., and we're going to take our capital back. We're taking it back.
Trump calls it Liberation Day, but the whole thing looks like a siege. Trump declared that he was rescuing the capital. Rescuing from what? Chaos, bloodshed, and gangs. And he's using an old federal act for this. The 1973 Home Rule Act, a clause in it allows the president to take over DC's police force, but only during an emergency. And that's what Trump is calling it, an emergency. Also, he's not just taking over the cops, he's sending in soldiers, 800 National Guard troops. They will be in the US Capitol. But only a fraction of them will be on the streets at any point in time. The Pentagon says they will not patrol openly, that they're there only for logistical support.
For 3-4 years, I've watched them. The police are standing, and they're told, don't do anything under any search. So and you can see they want to get at it. And they're standing there, and people are spitting in their face, and they're not allowed to do anything. But now they are allowed to do whatever the hell they want.
Now, Washington, D.C. is not like other cities. It's not a state. It does not get a vote in Congress. For most of its history, it was run directly by presidential appointees. The Home Rule Act of 1973 changed that. It gave locals the right to elect a mayor and a council. But it also gave the president emergency powers. That power is supposed to be temporary, 48 hours unless the Congress is notified. Trump has already promised to stretch that. He wants control for 30 days and maybe beyond. And this has never happened before. US presidents rarely use this power, let alone exercise it for a month. This has left the city's administration in a flux. The city is currently controlled by Democrats, and they are pushing back.
And while this action today is unsettling and unprecedented, I can't say that given some of the rhetoric of the past, that we're totally surprised. I can say to DC residents that we will continue to operate our government in a way that makes...
So the government structure in itself is divided about what's transpiring, yo. Well, it's not really divided, it's just them playing, what do you call it now? Good cop, bad cop. You know, because it's the same beast. Two-head, but the same beast. That's exactly what you read about in Revelation. Let me get that scripture for you. So this is Revelation, I want to say 13, verse 11. And it said, and I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse. Oh, 19 that. And that's it. The one with Lord that come shake up the place. So this is Revelation 13, verse 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. And this is talking about America. And the 2 horns like a lamb represent them political structure. You know? Republicans and Democrats. You know? That is how these are the structures that them use to manipulate the minds of the people. And the scripture continues to say, and spake as a dragon. The dragon represents draconian measures that are going to be implemented. And one of those draconian measures in which we have to put out there in the front line is the RFID microchip being mandated, yo. Verse 12. And he exercised all the power of the first beast before him. And who's that? Rome. And that's why the 2 political systems that they have now reflect the Roman system, the patrician and the plebeians. Yeah? So America is a split image of Rome. This is the second leg of the Roman Empire. That wound, that deadly wound that was healed. You know? And continue. And he caused the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast whose deadly wound was healed. And if you look on the countries around the world, it's the same democratic system them employ. Yo. That's how them worship the image. When them push them philosophies upon the world and the world accept it, that is how them worship them image. And that's why countries when not accept the gay agenda, the LGBTQ and the rest of the alphabet agenda, they have been getting sanctions. Out here in Jamaica, them have grants or certain money where them send to various colleges to push the LGBTQ agendas.
Way that makes you proud. We will balance our budgets. We will deploy our services.
Now here is where things get murky. Trump paints DC as a war zone, but the numbers suggest otherwise. Violent crime is at a 30-year low. In 2023, the city saw crime.
So here she has report what is on record, but when you're in an interview, the various citizens, everybody has said crime is not down, you know. Just look at this. 53 stores looted. 53 stores, yo. Hey man, I didn't want to even make this video so long. So with that I want to say Kalalal, Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim Yahweh Kwadash. Shalom. Hope this was very fine.